Okay, we're going to try the state plan do conclude right here for this question. Now we have a bunch of data based on males and females and whether they like different coffee chains or houses. So let's start that. Let's start with state. So hopefully you read the question, and I'm going to take a minute and write up what I think the state should be. And there it is. What is the relationship between gender and coffee preference? That's really what we're interested in. So let's go with the plan. What statistical technique should we try with this? So what are we going to try to do to show this? So here's the plan part. We suspect that there is a difference in coffee house preference between men and women, so we will compare the conditional distributions, that's what we're going to do, between the genders. Okay, and so now we're going to do the do part. So we can do this. The conditional distribution is, well, we'll look at the male for, say, the national chain, right there. Oops, right there. And the total. We'll figure out what that percentage is. And we'll compare that to the female for the same deal. Okay, let's take a look. So when we divide 95 right there by 535, we get approximately 17.8%. So right around 17.8% for that one. That's this guy right there for males. Okay. Then we'll do the same thing for females, and we'll compare that. So we're going to do 65 divided by 465 and see what that is. So when I divided those, it looks like it's right around 14%. So it looks like the women, actually the men are preferring that a national chain versus those 5 other shops. Okay, so if you do all of those, you'll come out with something that looks like this. So here's all the numbers. You have to take the number of men that like the national chain versus the total, divide it, and then the number that like the one mean bean, divided by the total just of the men. That's a conditional probability, or conditional distribution. And then we're going to do the same thing. It's just the total of the females that is divided for each one of these. So I'm thinking you can kind of figure that out, right? Ooh, there's a mistake. Look at this. This 18.7 should be over there. Okay. So maybe I should just write it in. I wonder if I could do that. 18.7. There you go. Fixed it. Okay. So now we're going to look at what the bar graph looks like. Okay. That's the do part. Now look at this graph. Now what you might want to do, and that's for the conclude part, I'm not going to write this, but let's take a look at this graph. Is there anything that's dramatic? Well, it sure looks like females sure like one mean bean versus the males. And the males like these two much better. One ugly mug and goodbye blue. So you could say that in your conclusion. Just some of the more dramatic things that are going on in that bar graph, and also that look at the difference between these two. Much bigger difference in the female that will brew their coffee at home or just don't have coffee at all. Anyway, some kind of a sentence that kind of sums up what you're looking at, if there's any dramatic results across the board. Okay, there's that question.